I always feel like I'm the last one doing that tag, but I always feel stressed when I see everyone doing the mid-year freak-out tag in like end of May, beginning of June. Because for me, the mid-year is like end of June, beginning of July, but whatever's, everyone has a different notion. So hello world, what's up? I hope you're good. So yes, today we're here to do the very famous, popular mid-year freak-out tag. I forgot the questions, so we're just gonna go freestyle. It shall be fun. But yeah, let's just get into the tag. First question is best book you have read this year so far. I honestly don't know. Let me check my co-pilot system. Okay, so far I give a few books like 5 stars, but I still haven't read Season of Fears by Shannon Maguire, which I'm planning on reading this month, so in July. I gave a lot of books 5 stars, but because they were rereads, like the Hobbit or the 3 books in the Lord of the Rings series. Also, I've read 2 more books in the Murderbot series. I read the sequel and the last book in the Frostheart series. You know, a lot of them were like continuing, like Lock and Key as well, but the only one that's really standing out, I would say, is the only one that's not part of the series, that's not a reread or whatever, that I gave a 5 stars to. Oh my gosh, so far I didn't have like a great year, like 5 stars wise. But if we follow the ratings, it's this one. Children of Time has 9.14 on the compile system. It is the highest rated book I have on my read pile, I mean among all the books that I have read this year, and it is this one. So it is an adult sci-fi. I would say even maybe sometimes a little bit YA, like it's not like hardcore sci-fi, you need to understand the concept of sci-fi, whatever, and you're gonna follow 2 point of views. I don't want to explain what those point of views are, but one of them I was rooting for them, even though in our days I would not root for them, if that makes any sense. But basically it is a story of humans trying to survive because Earth is a mess. It's polluted, it's not livable anymore, so they're trying to find like another planet or whatever. And there are other planets that can be good, can be Earth number 2, and they're going there, but apparently there are things that are already alive and that are already taking possession of the planet, that are already owning the planet in some way. That's the beginning of everything. If you have read it, I will link a live show down below in which I talk about that book, because we were reading it with the Howling Pack, and we talked about it for 1 hour 20 minutes, something like that, and I was really surprised. I want to continue with that series. It's one of Lena's favorite book, and I was so surprised, but I actually absolutely understand the hype of that book, if there was any, because I don't see that many people talking about that series. It is a chunker but so easy to read. The audiobook is also good. I feel like I listened to the audiobook at the same time. Would recommend. And let's try not to make this video so long. What is the question number 2? Best sequel you've read so far in 2022. I honestly don't know how I'm gonna answer this question, because I've read Lord of the Rings, I've read Murderbot series, but also Frostheart, also Lock and Key, but I feel like I'm gonna go with Murderbot. If I'm right, this is the last one in that series that came out. There's gonna be like new books coming out every year, but I feel like I'm gonna go with this one. Why? Because it was so constant. All the books, 6 so far, were 5 stars for me. All of them, I love them. I was excited to read them. I was like happy and sad and everything in between. I just wanted to read more of Murderbot and its friends and its environment and everything. And I feel like it's one of the best series I have read, especially because it's so constant. You know how sometimes you read a series you really love, but one is a 3, one is a 4, one is a 5, one is a 2, whatever, but you still enjoy the overall series. Here, they were all 5 stars for me. So I feel like they deserve to be mentioned. New release you haven't read yet, but want to. I mean, you know me, you know what I'm gonna mention. Season of Fears by Shannon Maguire, so the sequel to Middle Game. Honestly, if you haven't not read Middle Game or the Wayward Children series, I don't know where you've been hiding, because you have to. Just, I want you to get into them, not knowing much about it, and just getting surprised, okay? Best series out there, believe me. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I've been so bad with like keeping up with all the new releases or whatever, so I don't really know what's coming out this year. I know there is one that's coming out in October of this year that we picked for the Howling Pack. So my bookish club, wow, my book club that's available for everyone. There is a Discord, it will be linked down below, but that one we will be reading in December because it's going to be released in October normally, and it is The Dark Between the Trees by Fiona Barnett. It is described as an unforgettable surrealist gothic folk thriller with commercial crossover appeal from a brilliant new voice. And apparently that one, I love the cover first, so yes, I'm a sucker for beautiful covers. Apparently it has like some kind of wood forest or whatever, and whenever someone goes into the forest, they're not coming back, from what I understood, because like the forest is moving, things are shape-shifting, everything is different, and everything is made in order to make you like lose your way and to get lost in the wood and to stay there for ever, let's say. And apparently there is something that's hungry for the people who are getting lost in it. So it was like the story of 12 soldiers or some kind, so I don't know if it was just a story that something that happened to them or to other people as well. But then you have 5 women who are ready to go into that forest wood and to discover actually what happened, and they came with all kinds of gear, GPS, whatever. They're really ready to get into that and into that forest wood and to discover the truth. Well, actually they thought they were ready, but maybe they're not. So I'm curious, so I would say that one because that's the only one that's coming to me. I don't know, I don't keep track of them. So if you have any new releases that you think I will enjoy, please link them down below. Biggest disappointment. Ooh, I think I know. Let me check the co-buy system, but I feel like I know. So unpopular opinion here, please don't hate me. I really did not like it. You probably, I mean, some of you probably know which one I'm going to talk about. But I've read the first one, give it 2.5 stars or 2 stars or whatever, because I was generally bored and didn't care about anything, but nothing was really wrong with the story. It wasn't like a rant worthy book or whatever. I started the sequel and I DNF'd it, and I'm not going back into that series because I really don't care and did not enjoy myself reading it. But it is a Jade City. I have the book somewhere, but I don't want to get up. But yeah, I would say it was my biggest disappointment, because everyone was raving about it, everyone was loving it, so many people with different tastes in books loved it, and I was just so not enjoying it. I was just generally bored, but also the fact that no one described it as urban fantasy, which is something I don't really vibe with in general. Everyone was describing it as high epic fantasy of some kind, or at least like a very strong fantasy. Yes, the magic system is interesting, but it is happening in a world with planes and phones and taxis and whatever, you know? So I was always like put back whenever I would read, and then, oh, her phone's ringed or whatever. Oh, she's gonna call the taxi. Oh, she was in a fire or plane or whatever. It was just so weird and did not work for me because I don't like urban fantasy 95% of the time. So yeah, but otherwise the magic system was okay and interesting and unique, but I was generally bored. And I'm gonna try to not mention the same book several times because I could actually again mention this one, which was an absolute surprise, but I'm gonna go with like 3 books, I want to say. So the first one will be like this one, The Hollow Places, because it is a cosmic horror and portal fantasy, and that's what actually made me understand and made me realize that I'm really into cosmic horror and that I want to get more into cosmic horror. It wasn't a 5 stars, it was a 4 stars, very high 4 stars, really enjoyed it. And that's actually what, yeah, made me realize that I was into cosmic horror. So that was a huge surprise, like, because I was not expecting to realize anything from it and to enjoy that story that much. Then we also have Keeper of the Lost Cities. If you remember, I read the first one and gave it 2 stars, I believe, or 1 star? No, 2 stars, I believe, or 1 star. Cannot remember, but I did not enjoy it. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna continue with the series. But then Chris wanted to start the read along for that series, and I actually reread the first one and enjoyed it more. And then we're currently at the 5th or the 6th book, and I'm really enjoying myself. I'm loving that series, and that's a surprise because I was not expecting to actually fall, not in love, but really like fond for all those characters. And the last one I want to mention, because yes, I can mention 3 books. I hope I'm not gonna regret with the next questions, but it is like The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. I was not expecting to read a high epic adult fantasy inspired by African mythology, but it was so freaking good. It was so unique, and basically you have those warriors, like super strong men or whatever, and then you have those women who are also as badass as the men because they can actually call upon dragons and use their power in order to protect like the warriors, in order to do other things or whatever. It was so unique. I definitely gonna continue with that series. So yeah, I loved it. I'm really into like adult high epic fantasy lately, so yeah. New favorite author. The thing is, I don't have, I feel, a new favorite author. Last year I would have said, like if it was last year, I would have said John Gwynne, thanks to the Faithful and the Fallen series. So Malice being the first one, I have the second series based in the Banished Lands, and I have the Shadow of the Gods that I need to read. So last year I would have answered John Gwynne. For this year, I really don't know because I haven't read many books by the same author. And also last year I would have said Martha Wells because of, or thanks to the Murderbot series. This year I feel like it's not really okay to say that, but it is okay to say that, but I want to say T. Kingfisher because I loved the Hollow Places, and I immediately got the Twisted Ones and Nettle and Bone. And I feel like whenever I listen other people or the Winter Pack or any member of the pack talking about T. Kingfisher, they describe it as an amazing book, like any books they've read by them. And I feel like if these are giving me the vibe that I felt in the Hollow Places, they're gonna become one of my favorite authors and an autobi authors, because they already are an autobi author. But I have not read many things by them. So yeah, I feel like that's not a real question, I mean answer, but it is the answer I'm gonna give you. Newest fictional crush. I don't think I had any. It's really hard for me to crush on anyone. Going through the list of all the books I've read, but no, no, I didn't have any crush. And like newest favorite character, I don't have any. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at this, but I don't have any. I don't have a new favorite character. Or maybe Portia, because I really loved Portia and have a lot of respect for everything she did. So maybe Portia, yeah, from that series. But I cannot say why exactly. But they are following what their guts are telling them to do, and what their knowledge are telling them to do, and what they believe is right to do, and they're fighting so hard for that. But they also have some spiritual side to them that I found very interesting. So yeah, Portia probably. Book that made me cry. Was there a book that made me cry? I don't think any book made me cry this year. I suck at this tag. You know, I've been in a weird like reading place this year, so I haven't read that many books this year. I mean, I still have read a decent number of them, like 40 or something like that. But I'm not the same reader as I was last year because I'm growing, but also because of mental health and burnout, depression, like diagnosed one from work. So I feel like my emotions are not where they're supposed to be, and I don't feel like I felt before. I'm like, it's empty. So no books, no book made me cry, I feel. So I'm sorry, I really suck at this tag. Book that made you happy. So actually I have a few. So I have this one. So it is Once Upon a Time in the North by Philip Pullman. It has to do with his dark materials, and it's just because of the nostalgia it brought me, so that's why I'm putting it on that list. And then we have 3 books. One that I have not finished, but it doesn't really matter because they're these. So Jurassic Park, The Lost World, and Dinosaurs The Grand Tour, just because they're about dinosaurs and then they made me happy, and here it's super well done. You learn about dinosaurs and you have little quizzes and everything. It's just so well done. You have beautiful illustrations, when they were alive, what they ate and everything. It's so well done. And I mean, these books started Jurassic Park movies and the whole franchise and everything. So I'm a nerd, I love dinosaurs, so these made me happy. Favorite book to movie adaptation you've seen so far this year? I don't think I have watched any. I have started reading The Witcher, but I have not watched the show. I watched the show of books I have not read. I'm planning on watching The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit movies, but I've already watched them and I have read the books. But it is a rewatch, so, and I have not watched them by the time I'm filming this, because we're doing the watch along in July and August. But I would say those because, in my opinion, the movies were one of the best Booktube movies adaptations ever that were ever made. So I would say those, but it's not really accurate because I have not rewatched them already. It's gonna happen like in the next couple of months, but I think that I will still stand by it. Favorite review you've written this far? I'm nowhere with my reviews, so I don't know, but I would probably say it's not like a review that I've written, but this is a video, like a live show review, talk show, whatever, about the humans. So this book, I will link it down below. I really enjoyed the conversation we had regarding that book, and it was such a fun book, and it was actually my first time doing it like this. Was it the first video I was alone, like for the live show, for that one, for the Howling Pack? I don't know, but I would say this one, but it's not like a review, written review. Most beautiful books you bought this year, or book, actually just one. I guess it will be these books. Let me grab them. Okay, so by most beautiful books, usually people say like spread edges or illustrated editions or something unique about them. So that's what I'm gonna go with. I would say this one. It's so tiny, it's so unique, and I love the fact that it has this jacket, which is something I really love, and it's very special. So I would say this one, but also these two, which I technically bought in December but got them like in January, February or whatever. These, because of the edges, gorgeous, but also the covers are to die for, and the signs and numbered from the broken binding. But also these books, so The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings series illustrated editions. Yeah. What books do you really need to read by the end of the year? I will link a video down below. It's all the books that I'm gonna be reading with the Howling Pack, but also I'm doing a read along for Keep Out the Lost Cities. We're gonna start the read along for Countryside, that series. Also there is a read along for The Witcher going on. I'm still not sure what's going on with that read along, but that, and I guess this one because I really want to. So these are all the mandatory reads, I guess. And also His Dark Materials, which I'm gonna buddy read with the Winter Pack, so Patreons, and the Twisted ones. So should be here. No, it's not the Twisted ones. It's this one, Nettle and Bone, which will be buddy reading in July with the Winter Pack. And the last question is such a cute one. It is favorite community member. And honestly, I cannot pick one because all my friends are my favorite community members, but also all of you. And the Winter Packs are my patrons, and everyone who has supported me or shown me any kind of support, even though I was down and not capable of making any content. I would say anyone who interacts with me, have conversations, or even just show their support in any way. But I would say that Booktube has changed a lot, and it has, in my opinion, become more and more of a hostile environment. It's not as butterflies and unicorns as it once was, but there are still like many awesome people there, and I made friends online. I met some in real life. I'm meeting more during Yalk. So I would say every single member, creator or not, that has shown me kindness is my favorite member of this community. I know it's a cheesy answer, but it's so true. I could not just pick a few, but all of you that I consider my friend or member of my pack, whatever the pack, the pack, the Howling Pack, or the Winter Pack. And that's actually it, Wolves. Let me know if you like my answers or not, or what some of your answers will be. If you have filmed the video, please link it down below so I can watch it. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this. That's another mid-year freak out tag done. Yours. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to be a part of the pack. Talk to me in the comment section as usual. And until next time, take care. Bye.